Hey YouTube, I thought I'd talk about, I recently ran into a couple that were selling their e-bikes. And we're not talking about electric, we're talking, I think they were Pedego. And they both had the same model, but the husband had the man's version and the wife had the woman's version. I'm not sure that they were exactly Pedego. I'll try to straighten that out a little bit. But I know this much. They had really slack head tubes and really slack seat tubes. And what I mean is the angle was really laid back. And what that does is it puts a lot of weight on your rear end. It's not meant to be a long range bicycle. It's meant for the guy that's going to cruise around the beach or go to the store and back. Um, and it takes a lot of, it's more a comfortable upright ride, but it's not meant to ride your bike distance. Now, a bike should have a good balance, 50% on your butt, 50% on your hands, maybe not quite 50 on your hands, maybe more like 60-40. Depending on your situation is whether or not that's appropriate for you. I have carpal tunnel in both hands, and my hands tend to go to sleep really easy. So for me, it's probably not appropriate. But I couldn't ride that slack angle because it puts so much weight on your rear end that eventually you find that you aren't comfortable. Your butt hurts all the time, no matter what you do. You go out and spend the $50 for a nice cushy spring-loaded seat and find out you're still not comfortable. Your butt still hurts. Well, part of that is just getting used to it, but part of it is when you put that much weight on your rear end, there's no way to get away from it. So bike manufacturers that make e-bikes, I think I got bit by a mosquito, tend to forget uh, when they produce a bike that if you make a bike that has a 100-mile range and it has a real slack seat and a seat tube angle and a lot of your body weight is on that seat, that it's a waste of money because there's no way that most people are going to get out there and be able to ride it. God, it just ride it that kind of distance with that much weight on the rear end. So a good bike would have appropriate seat tube angles and appropriate stem. Um, I think the electric bikes are a little too short between the handlebars and the seat, but that's my opinion. It may not be yours. It may be perfect for you. So bike manufacturers tend to forget that, and they make a bike that can go 100 miles on a single charge, and then it's just uncomfortable. So when and people say, hey, it's a beach cruiser, that's what I want. And then the first time they go out and ride a 20-mile trail, they're hurting so bad that their back is taking all the brunt of the impact. Their back's hurting, their butt's hurting, their hands are great, but the rest of them is just totaled. And they get home and they're like, well, I'll try to ride it again. Maybe it was just a first time ride. I'll go out and try again. So I got bug spray on and they're still bugging me. So they go out and ride again and they get the same results. So bike fit is more important than most people know. In order to ride a bike any kind of distance, it has to be appropriate for what you're trying to do. The electric XP, it becomes uncomfortable after 20 miles for me. But then again, that might be just me. Just my body makeup and my back and my hands. I can't ride 20 miles without stopping and taking breaks, especially for my hands. Now, I don't really pedal that hard in the first place. I don't have any cartilage left in my ankles, so I can't really pedal hard. So I have to rely on the motor more than my wife does. Now, my wife, she, if I don't make an effort to keep up with her, she takes off, and I gets miles ahead of me. She don't have any ankle problems like I do. So in the short of it is, if you want a beach cruiser with an electric motor, don't plan on riding it any distance. Maybe 5-6 miles is all you're going to be able to do. If you're looking for a bike that you can go out and get some serious exercise on, then you're going to have to look for something that's a little more appropriate. The next area we'll touch on is mid-drives and hub drives. Hub drives are great for flat terrain, but not so good for hills. We have a hill in town that's probably 200 yards long and 12%. Now, this bike will make it up it, but I doubt very seriously it'd go much farther than a half mile up that hill. And it pays a toll on the battery too. So keep that in mind. Mid-drive has got more torque. It's more energy efficient. Wears items faster. Your chain will wear out faster. Your cogs will wear out faster. All that stuff is going to wear faster. So there's payoff and advantage. Hub drive, your spoke's going to loosen up. You're going to have to constantly retrue the got ants on me too. Retrue the wheels and those kind of things. So keep that in mind. Mid-drive is more efficient, more power. You can get up to 160 Newton meters, where the top of the line hub drive motor might be 80 to 90 Newton meters. If they claim more than that, they're just claiming more than that. Unless you're getting into the 3,000 watt or something ridiculous. But for a legal bike, 750 watts is the limit in the United States. Once you go above that, you're on an electric motorcycle. I don't care if it's got pedals or not. You just call it a motorcycle. If you put 2 hub motors on here, you've exceeded the 750 watts, and now you're riding an electric motorcycle. Enough said about that. There are some settings. While I'm thinking about it, I may have not been real clear on the chain. Why you change the chain when it gets to less than 1% of stretch is because you wear those cogs out, and it won't. Here's something for you guys that went out there and bought new freewheels and put it on your bike. You should have changed your chain at the same time. It's the way it is. If you had any significant wear on your chain, you should have changed it, because now you're wearing that freewheel into that chain, and at some point it causes a problem. Like if you had 2,000 miles on your bike and you changed that freewheel and put it up with that old chain, that's a disaster. You just wasted money, because you're going to end up that stretch chain is going to prematurely wear out that freewheel, and then you're going to be buying another one in a couple thousand miles. So chains last between the 1,500 and 2,000, 2,500 miles is pushing it. 2,200 miles was, in this case, I was just at the above 0.75%. I was pretty close to 85%. So if you have a 9-speed rear gear, it's different. 9-speed is 0.5%. So the chain lasts less time than the 8 speeds and 7 speeds, because of the width of the chain is different. So keep that in mind. If you buy a 9-speed chain or have a 9-speed bike, the chain does not last as long, and that's because they had to compromise somewhere to get them 9 speeds on the bike. So change the chain. It's cheaper than have to buy a $20 freewheel and a $10 tool to remove it. Just the chain, If you buy a better quality one, it's going to cost you about 18 bucks, and it's a wear item. Just count on it. I don't think I'll post this tonight. I'll probably post it tomorrow. So, in short, if you're looking for a bicycle electric bike or a non-electric bike, and it needs to be something that you can ride long distance, look for a normal bike. Don't look for a beach cruiser looking thing. Or an example, if you want to know what I'm talking about as to what not to buy if you're looking for a distance bike, go to Bolton e-bikes and look at the Cheetah, and you will have in the short answer what you don't want to look at if you're looking for a bike where you can ride some distance. You want something with a seat tube a little straighter and the handlebars so you can adjust it to get the weight set. And Electric does a good job. You could use different handlebars if you want. You could put some swept back handlebars on it, but just imagine, just know this, you're transferring weight to your rear end. If you move your back straighter, you're transferring weight. So you're trying to balance it. Gloves are a great item. These are Giros. They're about 30 bucks. Have a lot of padding, and but they're not going to solve your hand problems if you have too much weight on your hands. And these grips on this bike are crap. I haven't changed mine. I will eventually, but right now I'm not messing with it. They can cause trigger thumb, and they could be the problem if you just can't keep your hands awake. So look at that. Look at something. Go on Amazon, Performance Bike, Nash Bar, one of the bike sites, and look at a highly rated grip. Amazon, you can take it for what it's worth. They have people that get paid to do reviews, and they get paid to do good reviews. So some of those reviews you see on Amazon are straight up lies. The person has never even seen the product they're reviewing. So I've said enough. I'll probably post this tomorrow. If you like the video, like it. If you don't like it, please subscribe.